Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is able to hear my voice and see the presentation on the screen. Is everybody able to hear my voice and see the presentation on the screen? Excellent. So, today we are going to take a look at a few puzzles. We have been doing puzzles in the past. I'm sure many of you have done a lot of practice of puzzles, right? So today we are just going to run through a few typical and interesting puzzles usually asked in the analytical reasoning section of exams. We'll see how are the different ways in which these puzzles can be solved. So most of them will be either table based puzzles or something, and hopefully if we are able to complete most of the examples on time, then we might have a quick end to today's session. So let's see how fast we are at doing that. There's not much of theory per se to learn because we have seen a lot of theoretical classes of puzzles before. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the puzzles and put them one up on a screen. Some of them are single question puzzles, some of them are multi-question puzzles, right? So let's start with a few single question puzzles and then we move on to the sets. So the very first one. The chairman of the selection committee arrived at the interview room for conducting an interview at 10 minutes to 12:30 hours. He was early by 20 minutes than the other members of the board who arrived late by 30 minutes. Then at what time was the interview scheduled? It's a word play. All you need to do is understand what is written. It's called a word play question. Okay. Equal number of right and wrong answers. One thing which you should know is 10 minutes to 12:30 means 10 minutes before 12:30. 10 minutes to 12:30 means it is yet 10 minutes to go before 12:30 is there. So the 10 minutes to 12:30 means 10 minutes before 12:30. So let's take a look at the timeline. The chairman, he arrives 10 minutes to 12:30. That means he comes at 12:20. He was early by 20 minutes than other members. So if he is early by 20 minutes than the other members, then the other members came 20 minutes after him, which means they came at 12:40. Who arrived late by 30 minutes? So whatever time the other members arrived, that is actually 30 minutes after the actual time. So 12:40 is 30 minutes after the actual time, means the required time is actually 12:10. So the interview was actually scheduled for 12:10. Did everybody get it? Okay. Chalo. Good warm up question. Moving on to the next one. They just come under analytical reasoning. You can't classify them as any specific kind of puzzle. Sometimes they're known as word problems. This can be solved using a table. Okay. So P, Q, R, S, T and U. R, Q, T have blue covers and the others have red covers. Only S and nu S and U are new books. That means the rest are old. PRS are law gazetteers reports and the rest are gazetteers. So which two books are old gazetteers with blue covers? So one BOG, one BOG. So we are looking at options Q and T. So B is my correct answer. There's no way you can get this wrong unless you make some silly mistake. Right? It's a very simple question. There's no way you should be getting this wrong. Right? It's a sitter. Next one. Directions. Yeah, this is a relatively one. Most of you should be getting this right. Let's say this is the starting point of the man. He walks 6 kilometers towards north, turns to left, walks 4, again turns to left, walks 6, then again turns to right and walks 6. Right? So first of all, what is the distance? This is 6. This distance is also 4. So 6 plus 4, the total distance is 10. There's only one 10. And obviously the distance is clearly west. So 10 kilometers west is obviously my right answer. Yes, Gautam. Chalo. Next one. Seating arrangements. I think most of you are getting it right. Let's see. So C is to the immediate right of D. So C is to the immediate right of D. B is at an extreme end. So either B is sitting like this or B is sitting like this and has E as his neighbor. So either E is here or E is here. G is between E and F. G is between E and F. G is between E and F. D is sitting third from the south end. Now if they are all facing the east, right, if they are all facing the east, then this side is the south end. So totally there are 7 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Can I make D sit third from the south end in this arrangement? No, I cannot. So here D is sitting third from the south end, which means C is here and the only person left is A. So the two persons sitting at the extreme ends are B and A. So option 2 or option B is my right answer. Did everybody get this one? Harshit, I don't know. Yeah, if this is north, south, this is east and west. Now it is given that they are all facing east. So when they are facing east, then this side is the north end and this side is the south end. Did you get that, Tamanna? Okay, moving on. Oh, now this is interesting. A long list of people given. You have to find out how two of them specifically are related. Take some time, work on it. Yeah, most of you are getting it right. Okay. So it's given that Shilpa is the niece of Keshav, right? So we have Keshav and Keshav's niece. That means Keshav has a sibling and that sibling has a daughter, let us say Shilpa. Keshav's mother is Lekha. Kasturi is Lekha's mother. Kasturi's husband is Gautam. Priya is the mother-in-law of Gautam. Then how is Shilpa related to Gautam, right? I have to find out relation between these two. Now for Gautam, this is the level for children, this is the level for grandchildren, and this is the level for great grandchildren. So great grandson's daughter, that is one level even below than wanted, not my answer. Definitely not the father or granddaughter. So great granddaughter, because by diagram we know that Shilpa is at the great grandchild level. There is only one option which matches that, and hence that has to be the option. Yeah, if Priya is the mother-in-law of Gautam, then Priya is the mother of Gautam's wife. Yeah. Did everybody get it? Did everybody understand the detailing here? Okay. Next. Most of you are getting this one. Happy to see that you have worked up your relations, practiced enough. So it's given that A is B's sister, C is B's mother, D is C's father, E is D's mother. Then how is A related to D? So for A siblings, C is the mother, so D is the paternal grandmother. So if D is a grandmother and A is a female, then A is the granddaughter. So the answer is A is the granddaughter of D. It is not asked how D is related to A. It's asked how A is related to D. And because it is asked how A is related to D, A being a female is the granddaughter. The very first line, Shashwat, can you please read it? The very first line of the puzzle, Shashwat. If A is B's sister, then who is female, A or B? Shashwat. If X is your sister, is X the female or you the female? A is the sister, right? A is female. Please don't make silly mistakes like this. It's given A is B's sister, so that means A is the sister, which means A is the female in this relationship. Till now we don't know what B's gender is. Okay. Moving ahead. Now this is interesting. You need to come up with the exact placement so that based on that you can answer questions. Done? Okay. Just one person has confirmed done. What about the others? Okay, fair number of people have done it. Just waiting for a minute or more to give others some time as well, and then let's see how to do it. Okay. Chalo, let's take a look at how we do this problem. It says that 9 soccer fans are watching a match in a stadium, right? So, seated in one row, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, and R. L is to the right of Mike. So, this is Mike. L is to the right of Mike. And at the third place, at the right of Ned. So, L is first, second, third place to the right of Ned. So now we have a set of 4 people, N, somebody, M, and L, which is already established. Okay. We know that Kate is at one end of the row. So either Kate and 8 more people, or 8 people and then Kate, because which end we do not know as of now. Queen is immediate next to Ollie and Pat. So Queen is immediate next to Ollie and Pat. It could be OQP or it could be PQO. It says Ollie is third place to the left of Kate. If Kate is on the extreme left, then Ollie cannot be placed. So this arrangement goes out. So Ollie is at a third place left of Kate. So Kate 1, 2, 3. Ollie is the third place to the left of Kate. Now, Jack is right next to the left of Queen. Now first, either we can place O here and we can place Q and P here, or I can place O here and I can place Q and P here, right? These are 2 possible arrangements they can go. Jack is right next to the left of Queen. So if this is Jack, next to the left. So this is Jack, if this is Queen, next to the left, right? Either one of them is Jack. Now take a look at it. If I want to fit N space ML, then in the lower arrangement, I have no place to put N space ML. But in the upper arrangement, I can easily put N, M, L here, making R as this position. So it makes sense that N, R, M, L, J, O, Q, P, K is the arrangement that we are looking for. Did everybody get this one? This does not violate any of the conditions. So if you've got any arrangement other than this, then you may have to check that are all the conditions being met. If there is any violation of a condition, then it cannot be the answer. So is anybody getting any other option than this? Right next to the left. So it's not on the left of Queen. Left के Queen का जो left है उसके बाजू में. Right there means immediate next. So whoever is to the left of the Queen, after that we have Jack. Sort of. Yes, Shubhankar, second to the left. Next to the left, on Queen's left we have someone. Then again next to that we have someone. Is it given? Look at the options. Look at the data. Does it say it matters where they are facing? No. So we will always take the default facing of north. Right? We won't take any other facing because it will make life difficult. Taking everybody to be north facing makes left and right so much more easy. And here clearly there is nothing which says that we are supposed to take any specific thing. So let's assume north, easiest way. No, Amanbir. Right next to the left. That's in fact a classic language used in entrance exams. Even I used to believe it means immediate next. But the way this phrase is, everybody interprets it as left or uske baju mein. That means second to the left. Yes, Aditya. If every single condition is met, you don't need to worry at all. Your arrangement has to be accurate. Chalo. If the arrangement is proper, then there should be no problem in answering the question. Who's in the middle of the row? I think now with the answers in front of us, it's pretty obvious, right? Jack is in the middle of the row. Who's at one of the two ends from these people? That's right, Ned. Which of the following statements is true? Pay attention. Which of the following statements is true? Right? And that statement is the last one. There's one person between Leo and Ollie. For everybody else, it is wrong. For D, that statement is true. Chalo. Similar new set. Give you some time. Solve this. Is it given? Look at the fourth clue. Interpretation is important there. Language is very important there. Does it say that V is an engineer? Okay, few of you have done fast. Good. I hope you are accurate also. Okay, let's take a look at how to do this. A family consists of 7 members. One of them is a student and other 6 in different professions. 2 married couples. Okay. So far we have got general data. It's given P and U are architect and doctor. Okay. So P is the architect, U is the doctor. Okay. S the father of Q. So father means S is a male. S is married to somebody who is a female. S the father of Q and the grandfather of V is an engineer. So here it's important to understand it. S is the father of Q, S is the grandfather of V, and it is S who is the engineer. That is what this statement means, right? So no lady in the family is an engineer or a lawyer. So the lawyer is also a male. Engineer we have already established is a male. Now V, who is a student, is the grandson of T. V, who is a student, is the grandson of T. Now that gets stuck here because grandson we also know is a male, right? So what else can we do? We know that this also has to be a married couple because there are 2 married couple required in this family. So far we are able to establish the relationships up to here. 2 married couples, yes. We don't know where P and U are. So P and U are the architect and the doctor. Okay. S is the father of Q and the grandfather of V and an engineer. No lady is an engineer or a lawyer. V is the student and is the grandson of T. So if V is the grandson of T, then can we take a risk and put T here, right? Which means S and T become a couple. Is there any profession that we can give to S? Now, the professions of engineer is already taken. The student is already established. We know the doctor and the architect are already U and P. That means we are left with either the professor, the manager, or the lawyer. But the lawyer is a male. So T is either a professor or a manager. We are able to confirm so far. Is there any other piece of information that we can put here? Is there any other piece of information that we can derive here? No. So let's take a look at the questions. Is this enough to answer our questions? Which of the following is one of the married couples? Which of the following is one of the married couples? Right? That T is S and T is not an option. And the second couple, we don't know. We don't even have enough information. So obviously data insufficient. As simple as that, right? Because we don't have enough data, we do have to say data insufficient. How is R related to V? How is R related to V? Again, we are not able to mark R on this chart. So how is R related to V? Data insufficient. What is T's profession? What is T's profession? So T's profession we were able to roughly eliminate and estimate, right? We were left with two options, that T could be either the professor or the manager. So what is T's profession? Best option, option B, which says it is either professor or the manager. Chalo. So a very rare type of question in which most of the data is incomplete and most of the answers is indeed data insufficient. Not a great type of puzzle because it leaves you confused whether you have actually solved it or not. But it's a time waster, but definitely can be done. Chalo. Next one. Condition type puzzle. Take a look at it. We'll then take a look at the questions. Okay, so it doesn't seem like a puzzle where we will be creating a perfect table, right? We'll need to keep the conditions in mind and solve through each question. So chalo, I'll put the condition up on the screens in every question. If exactly two swimmers finish between J and L, then which of the following must be true? I'm getting all sort of different answers here. Okay. It says exactly two swimmers finish between J and L. So it is either J, two swimmers and L, or L, two swimmers and J. Now let's take a look at all the given conditions and establish this race. It says that K finishes ahead of L. So if this is the condition, the left hand side, then it could be JKL or it could be JKL. And in this case, K finishes ahead of L. It could be any place ahead. There could be people between them. There may not be people between them. I don't know. Then it says N finishes directly behind M. So wherever M is, N finishes afterwards. Now, either J finishes first and O last, or O finishes first and J last, right? So either J finishes first and O last, or O finishes first and J last. So if O finishes first and J last, it has to be O somewhere here. Okay. Now it says there are no ties in any race and everyone finishes each race. Now, which of these if exactly two swimmers finish between J and L, then which of the following must be true? Let's assume that J finishes last, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. If J finishes last, that means O finishes first, right? K, now it says that there are exactly two swimmers between J and L. So between J and L, that means L is in this position. K finishes ahead of L. So K either finishes here or K finishes here. then n finishes directly behind m. Now for n to be directly behind m, this is the only possible position, so n finishes directly behind m, right? Now can I resolve this condition? K finishes ahead of L and J finishes and O finishes last, no ties, and everybody finishes each race, right? Now if this is quite possible as a is there any fallacy in this condition that we are looking at? And if you are looking at the other way around, if you are, how did we get position of L? Because in the given question it says that there are two swimmers between J and L. Because the question starts with the supposition that J finishes between two swimmers between J and L, right? Let's take the other condition that J finishes first. So if J finishes first, there are two swimmers between J and L. O finishes last, right? K finishes ahead of L. So either K could be here or K could be here. N finishes directly behind M. So N finishes directly behind M. Are we missing any conditions? Because even this is possible. Then I think the question must be which of them has to be false. Because J can finish first. O finish first is also a possibility. K finishes second is also a false possibility. M finishes fifth is also a possibility. Actually, all of the above seem to be true. All these conditions are actually possible. So I think the answer has to be all of the above, and that is E. Changing the options accordingly, because obviously we are able to prove all of them. So answer must be all of the above, and that must be our answer, right? Did you get it? Every single of these conditions. Yes, Gautam. Why should it be D? Even A, B and C are equally true. A, B and C are also equally true. No, we don't have any concrete placement. No, Gautam, you can't do any, you can't change anything. If there's an error, they'll cancel the question. Yeah, M finishes fifth, but it's also, which of the following must be true? Okay. See, because the condition is given, either J will be first or so we have to, see, we have to always assume the conditions. For every option, we have to assume the conditions based on the data given. Right. So we have to take different situations and see which of them are possible. Did you get that? None of the above. Actually, all of them are true. So the way the question is worded itself is wrong. The way the question was worded is wrong. Which of the following must be false if it was given? Then none of the above would be the answer. Why is A not possible, Jay? Where is the problem with A? Jay says A is not possible. Why is A not possible? Because in alag-alag situations, see, there is no one right answer to this. This is called a conditional puzzle, right? More than one right answer is possible to this. So there are multiple possibilities. This is known as a conditional puzzle. I believe I have taught you conditional puzzles where there is no one right answer. It is through the options that you have to match the conditions and decide. Yes, in different situations, different outcomes. Why can't two people be between J and L? Look at these conditions. Look at all these conditions which I have made. It's very much possible. क्या गड़बड़ है इसमें? क्या डी तो ट्रू होगा बट बाकी सब भी नेसेसरली फॉल्स नहीं है. दैट्स व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड. It's a conditional puzzle. There's no one correct outcome to this type of puzzle. Based on the given situation, you have to analyze whether it is true or false. Absolutely, Shashwat. Absolutely. This one, because the wording was a bit bad, but in general, they're very easy questions to solve. Should absolutely attempt them. Sitters होते हैं. Try the next one. नमनबीर. It's possible different situations, different कुछ change किया होगा, एक आध word यहाँ पे shift किया हो सकता है. But even after the class, I'll try to check out if there are different sources from where I can verify this question. See, which of the following cannot be true? Right? We already know that out of the 7 places, the 7th and the 1st place are occupied by J and O. Whatever is the situation, J and O तो रहेंगे ही रहेंगे. Now, K always finishes ahead of L. तो L सबसे lowest यहीं पे हो सकता है. That means K इसके नीचे नहीं जा सकता. Right? The lowest position that K can occupy is 5. K cannot go at a lower position than this because K के बाद L आएगा और L 6th ही जा सकता है. 6th के बाद J या O होगा. That means K cannot finish in the 6th position ever. So my answer has to be B. K can never finish in the 6th position. Did you get it? लॉजिक समझ में आया? राइट. J एंड O तो फर्स्ट एंड लास्ट कंडीशन, फर्स्ट एंड लास्ट सीट को ऑक्यूपाई कर लेते हैं, तो वो तो परमानेंट है. एंड इफ K इज ऑलवेज अहेड ऑफ L, the lowest seat which L can occupy is 6. So the lowest seat K can occupy has to be 5 and no lower than that. So K can never be on the 6th position or the 7th position for that matter. कहाँ? What all options are false, Anushka? Look at the question. Which of the following cannot be true? The others, try making them. You might get one or the other arrangement possible, but you will never get an arrangement where K will be in the 6th position for the reasons which I explained. C is also false, that M finishes second. Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have either J or O occupying this place. Okay. M को second डालने में क्या है? M अगर यहाँ पे डालूंगा तो N को यहाँ पे डालना पड़ेगा. K finishes ahead of L. K finishes ahead of L. यहाँ पे डाल सकता हूँ. जो बचा P उसको डाल दो, there is no condition. Why not? Why can't I have this, Amanbir? This is a possible condition which satisfies it. What's the problem in this one? Amanbir, did you get it? The new arrangement which I made. Careful how many spots you mark. ठीक है, चलो. Next one. No. Number is asking, do we use condition of previous questions as continued in the second? No. Unless they clearly ask you to do so, never continue conditions from questions. Only continue from the data given. For the individual question, whatever condition is given, that lives and dies with that question. Okay. So now again we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 spots, out of which O and J have invariably taken the first and the last. Now it says N finishes directly behind M. N finishes directly behind M. N finishes directly ahead of K. N finishes directly ahead of K. Okay. Now K finishes ahead of L. So either K finishes ahead of L and I have a spot here, or I have a spot here and K finishes ahead of L, or K finishes ahead of L but with a space in between. These are the three possible conditions, right? So in all these three conditions, M here is at second position, M here is at third position, M here is at second position. So either it can be in the second position with M, N, K, L and P, or it could be at P, M, N, K and L, but no other position. So second and third, that is option C, is the one which satisfies our condition the best. Are we together, everybody? Okay. They definitely will not allow ties because they don't want to make your life miserable in the exam. That's why explicitly they're saying no ties in the race. If they said there would be ties in the race, no, I wouldn't even be reading the question. It becomes too complicated. then you will be losing a lot of marks, Shrikar. The right attitude is I'll practice more of these and make sure I crack them. Not that I will leave them. The worst attitude when we are just starting our final preparations. Okay. So if O and K finish, so one is directly behind the other, right? So we know that O is first or last. So either O is here and K is here, right? In which case, the seventh one is J, or we know that O is at seventh, sixth is K, and first is J. These are the two possibilities. Now it says K finishes ahead of L. In this situation, I can put L anywhere behind and K will be ahead. But in this situation, there is no place for L to be behind, right? So that K is ahead. So this is not the condition, which means for sure we are looking at O and K in the first and second place and J in the seventh place, which means the fact that J finishes seventh has to be true. O cannot finish seventh, because if O finishes seventh, the very first condition that K finishes ahead of L cannot be satisfied. Amanbir, did you get that? L finishes third. Is it must be true? Look at the word must. In every condition, will that be there? Or is it possible that there is a situation where it may be true? The language is important. Have they asked that it may be true or must be true? Is L always finishing third? No. And the question asks which of the following must be true. So if it is not always true, it cannot be the answer. If it's just a possibility, it is not your answer, because look at the question. The wording of the question clearly says which of the following must be true. 100% has to be true. And that's why D cannot be my answer. Okay. Yes, Pranav, that's what I was a bit confused in that. So like I said, I'll go back to that question and check. I got confused in that. I'll go back to that question and check it thoroughly. I admit it could be my mistake. Okay, let's take a look at it. 7 positions. J finishes first, which means O finishes last. L finishes ahead of N, so L is somewhere ahead of N, okay? K finishes ahead of L, so K is somewhere ahead of L. And N finishes directly behind M. So N and M, these two are immediately joined. Wherever N is, the next one must be M. So now, in how many ways can I fit the 4 of them in 5 places? There are 5 places left and there are 4 of them. So who's the extra one? The extra one is P, right? So P, if I put K, L, M and N, I can put P here. I could put K, L, N and M, sorry. I can put P, then N and M. I can put P, I can put K, L, N and M. I can put P, I can put K, L, N and M. Basically, the P can be fit in any of the 4 places and the remaining others can be adjusted. So there are a total of 4 ways in which the swimmers can complete the race. Did everybody get this one? Yeah, N and M are that's okay. M and N. जहाँ पे भी M and N, it doesn't make a difference. In short, these two are fixed. NM हो या MN हो, it's fixed. Everybody got this one? See, I have 5 locations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positions 2 से लेके 3, 4, 5, 6 तक भरना है. उसके अंदर हैव टू पुट K, L, M, N एंड P. अब P का फ्लोटिंग स्पेस है, बाकी का ऑर्डर तो फिक्स्ड है, राइट? बट P का फ्लोटिंग स्पेस है. मैं P को यहाँ पे भी डाल सकता हूँ, बाकी 4 फिट हो जाएंगे. P को यहाँ पे भी डाल सकता हूँ, तो K, L, M, N बाकी सारे फिट हो जाएंगे. P को और यहाँ पे भी डालो तो K, L, M, N फिट हो जाएंगे. You cannot put P here because there is no space for Mn to come together. But I can definitely put P here, right? So there are 4 out of 5 places where P can put. So P determines that there will be 4 ways in which the total arrangement can be made. You get that, Amanbir? Yes, and as Namra rightly points out, a single puzzle can give you a boast of solid marks. So always practice and do puzzles, and generally the exam puzzles are easy ones, right? We may do some medium to hard level ones, but the exam में easy ones ही आते हैं. So please don't give up on puzzles. They are the easiest and most scoring in the exam. Chalo, moving on to the next set of questions. Yes, Shashwat, they're time consuming. Do you really expect entrance exams to be served on a platter? Guys, I'm not going to put up this much on the screen because the question is important. This is similar to the last one, right? So I'm going to add the question also to this. Now, take a look at it and solve it. Not many getting it right. Okay guys, let's see what are the relations given to us. We know that there is a father, a mother, an aunt, a brother, a sister, a wife, and a daughter. So all these are male relationships, all these are female relationships, right? So there are a total of 2 males and 5 females in the group. But she does not know that. Who is who? The only thing she knows is that M and Q are of the same gender. P and Q. So she knows that both P and Q are of the same gender. And M and N are not of the same gender. So if M and N are not of the same gender, then one of them is a male and one of them is a female. Right? M और N का gender अगर same नहीं है तो उनमें से कोई एक male है and एक female है. That means one male relation is already taken up. That means for P and Q to be of the same gender, they have to both be females because there is only one male relative. तो दोनों का gender same अगर है तो उसका मतलब है दोनों have to be females. So my option that P is a female has to be true. Are you getting it? The option that P is a female has to be true. See, M and N इतना समझ में आ गया कि 2 मेल और 5 फीमेल हैं. इतना समझ में आ गया कि 2 मेल और 5 फीमेल हैं. ठीक है. अब M और N, so let's put it मेल मेल फीमेल 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 इतने हैं. M and N are of opposite genders, so one of them is a male, one of them is a female. Correct? One of them is a male, one of them is a female. Correct? अब P and Q 2 males बचे हैं. Are there 2 males left for P and Q? No. So both P and Q have to be females. So P has to be a female. You get that? Shubhankar. Okay. Anyone else having a confusion in this one? समझ में आ गया ना? Straight forward. लास्ट कौन सा समझ में नहीं आया? जय. See, it is given that P and Q are of the same gender. तो P and Q 2 मेल्स तो हैं नहीं कि दोनों मेल्स हो सकते हैं. सो दोनों को फीमेल ही होना पड़ेगा ना. दिया है कि दोनों का जेंडर सेम है. अब दोनों का जेंडर सेम अगर मेल है तो 2 मेल बाकी होना चाहिए, लेकिन मेल तो एक ही है. दोनों को सेम कैसे दे दूं? तो दोनों को फीमेल ही दे सकता हूं बिकॉज ओनली फीमेल आर अवेलेबल. सो बोथ P and Q हैव टू बी फीमेल. चलो नेक्स्ट वन. मिताली कौन सा प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन? टोटल मेल्स कितने हैं इस ग्रुप में? एम एंड एन में से एक मेल है पक्का, तो they have already taken away one of the male roles. How many male roles are left? Can I give one male role to both P and Q? So do P and Q both have to be females? Move on. Okay guys, pay attention to this now. Now first we will create the chart of all the relatives, right? So there is X. X has a father. X has a mother. X has an aunt. X has a brother. X has a sister. X has a wife, which also tells me that X is a male. And then X has a daughter. यहाँ तक हम साथ साथ हैं, right? So it says if T is the daughter of X, that means this is T, right? T is the daughter of X. Then which of the following must be true? Okay. Now we have established that out of P, Q, M, N, let's write it in order. M, N, P, Q, R, S and T. We have established one of them is a male and one of them is a female. We have established P and Q both are females. And we have established that T is a daughter, which means T is also a female, right? Now we knew that there are total 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 females. There are a total of 5 females and there are a total of 2 males, out of which 4 females are done, 1 male is done. So बचा क्या? एक मेल एक फीमेल अभी भी बाकी है. यहाँ तक समझ में आया सबको? अभी तक जो हिसाब लगाया उसमें एक मेल एक फीमेल. सो आर एंड एस में से कोई एक मेल होगा, कोई एक फीमेल होगा, which means what? They are of opposite genders. They are not of the same gender. So D. Right? Did everybody get this one? See, इसमें हम एस्टैब्लिश क्या क्या कर रहे हैं? We have M, N, P, Q, R, S and T. Do you agree M and N not same gender? So there is one male, one female in this group. There are one male and one. अब इन दोनों में से कौन मेल है कौन फीमेल है मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन एक मेल एक फीमेल निकल गया इसमें. हाँ? Are we together on this? Okay. Now, in the previous question by logic, we saw that P and Q cannot be males, P and Q have to be females. ये भी सेट हो गया. Okay, and in this question it is given that T is the daughter, which means T is also a female. So out of 2 males we have established 1 male, and out of 5 females we have established 4 of them. So that means the remaining people में one of them is male, one of them is female. कौन कौन है नहीं पता, but दोनों opposite gender के हैं इतना तो sure है. Did everybody get it? Chalo then, moving on to the next one. This is relatively easy actually. Yeah, wordplay. Now read the question carefully. Most of you are falling into the trap of the question as well. Read the complete question very carefully. There's a trick. First of all, it's given that if M and Q are sisters, then all of the following must be true except. Means you have to find out which one is false. Trick number 1. If you did not read the question carefully, you end up marking the wrong answer. Now look at the question. It says M and Q are sisters. It means both are female. They are sisters to each other, which means both are female. Right, now look at fourth option. If M and Q are female, how can Q be somebody's husband? A female cannot be a husband. Right? If M and Q are sisters, which means both of them are females, that means Q cannot be somebody's husband. So that is my answer. No need to lift a pen. Just think. Did we get it? Why can't M be X's mother? Is there any condition which says that M cannot be X's mother, or that Q cannot be X's aunt? If M and Q are sisters, in fact, it's very highly probable that M and Q are the mother and aunt. यार M and Q sisters हैं, X की mother and aunt are the only possibilities of a pair of sisters. So M and Q have to be the mother and aunt. हाँ, Q is the mother and M is the aunt. दोनों ही possible हैं. हाँ, 100% wrong थोड़ी है. It's not necessary. But Q तो being S's husband is an impossibility. The others are only, I hope you get it. D is an impossibility. Must hai. That much they are taking into consideration. Which one is the worst option between B, C and D? B and C may or may not be true. I agree with that, Pranav. Wording of the question में वहाँ पे must is bit of a problem. But Q तो definitely is false by a mile. Did everybody get this one? No, it can be anything else, Aditya. See, you can have multiple combinations possible. Don't just stick to one. Here, the way the data is given, you can actually come up with multiple combinations as answers. That's why we don't try to solve it. We try to go through the options and eliminate them. Chalo. Next one. Okay. Let's make the tree first. So we know that we have a person X. X has a father. X has a mother. X has an aunt. X has a brother. X has a sister. X has a wife. Right? And X has a daughter. Okay. Now it says that S is N's grandfather. Now for S to be N's grandfather, the only possibility is this is S and this is N, right? So S is N's grandfather, which makes S a male, right? This, whoever it is a female, obviously, and so on and so forth. Now, it's given that, now if S is N's grandfather, then which of the following must be true, right? Now, because we know that N is the daughter, we know that M is the other, because M and N are not of the same gender, right? So the only place where N can be fit as a male is this. That's it. M is X's brother. No confusions at all, in fact. Straightforward. Because by gender, we can easily crack this one. Did everybody get it? Just by identifying the gender, we can easily crack this one. Yeah, you can use this, Parnika, but you can't fill in the details like this because for every question they have put different names in different places, and some of them don't even require the tree, right? I started drawing this tree for this question and realized that even for this question, the tree was not actually much useful. Just the genders was enough to answer it. But it's your choice. If you feel it's easier for you to answer the question, method के marks नहीं होते. You can do anything you want. How did we get N is a female? If S is N's grandfather, then N is at the bottom, right? And X की तो daughter ही है, तो N तो daughter ही हुई ना. N को जहाँ पे डाला है, that is X's daughter. And daughter is a female, so N is a female. Got it? Okay, chalo. Next one. Again, a very straightforward question. Right? If M is X's daughter, wife, it's given that M is X's wife, and it is given that S was born before M. One of the conditions is that S was born before M. And if S was born before M, then S cannot be M and X's daughter. A daughter cannot be born before the parents. So straightforward, option A. Got it? Others, समझ में आया लॉजिक? बिना कंडीशन के आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर कैसे, बट ओके, कंडीशन है तो एक झटके में आंसर आ जाएगा. चलो, okay, next set of questions. Sorry, I want you to read it and make the chart or tree or whatever. Okay, Manush, Aditya. Okay. What about the others? Chalo, let's take a look at it then. It's given that there are 6 members of a family: student, housewife, different professions, 2 married couples. Okay. It says 2 is the teacher and mother of 3. So 2 is a teacher and mother. So first of all, a mother is a female. So 2 is a teacher and the mother of 3. 4 is the grandmother of 3. So 4 grandmother, again obviously a female, so married to someone, and is a housewife. 6 is a lawyer and is the father of 1. Now 6 is the lawyer and the father of 1, but where is 6 and where is 1? I don't know. Let's put it on one side first. 6 is a lawyer, male, father of 1. Okay. 3 is the brother of 1. Now we got it, right? 3 is the brother of 1, making 3 a male, right? And making 6 in this particular position as a lawyer and a male. And 5 is the father of 6. So 5 is a male, father of 6, and is a doctor. So we get 4 and 5 are a couple, with 4 is the female housewife, 5 is the male doctor. Their son is 6, who's a male lawyer and married to 2, a female teacher. Their son is 3. The profession of 3 we don't know. And 1, we don't know either the gender or the profession of 1. Are we together on this so far? Did everybody get a similar table or a similar diagram to solve the questions based on this puzzle? Yeah. So the only professions left are engineer and student. So 3 and 1. One of them is an engineer, one of them is a student. That's it. Which one is which? I don't know. Chalo. Now this should be quick. Which of the following statements is definitely true? Is 1 an engineer? Not sure. Is 5 the father of the teacher? No, he's the father-in-law. Is 4 the mother of the teacher? No, she's the mother-in-law. Is 6 the father of the engineer? Well, 1 out of 3 and 1 is an engineer and 6 is the father to both of them. So whoever is the engineer, 6 is definitely the father of the engineer. So option D, definitely my right answer. Remember, father mother nahi hai BC, they are father in law and mother in law. Some of you got that one wrong. Next one. How many female members are there in the family? See, in the first 2 couples, first 2 generation, we know that they are couples. So 1 each is a female. So 2 तो पक्के हैं. अब third layer में, we know that 3 is definitely a male, right? But 1, we don't know whether 1 is a male or a female. So if 1 is a male, then total 2 females. If 1 is a female, then total 3 females. So the best possible answer that we should mark is 2 or 3, right? 3 is definitely a male, so 3 is not counted. But we don't know the gender of 1. So from the first 2 generations, we have 1 wife, total 2. And from the third generation, we don't know the gender of 1. So either 2 or 3 in total. Is everybody following me here so far? Okay. How is 1 related to 4? Simple. अब भी हमने एस्टैब्लिश किया कि we do not know the gender of 1. So one could either be the granddaughter or could be the grandson. Because I don't know the gender of one, so one could either be the granddaughter or could be the grandson. So D. Which one is the student? Again, very clear. The last level, we don't know which one is the engineer and which one is the student. It could be 1, it could be 3. So the best one to mark is either 1 or 3. And you cannot mark 6 is son, because if 3 is a female and turns out to be the student, it could be 6's daughter as well. So we can't make any assumption there. So the safest answer to mark is either 1 or 3. Meshwa, what do you mean the one which has a teacher is a student? What do you mean by that? The one which has a teacher is a student. What do you mean by that? Who says 2 is the teacher of 3? 2 is the teacher and she's the mother of 3. मेरी माँ necessarily मेरी teacher हो वो ज़रूरी नहीं है. It is said 2 is the teacher by profession and by relation she is the mother of 3. It is never said 2 is the teacher of 3. Namra, if 1 is male, then saying 6 is son is not a wrong answer, because both 3 and 1 are sons and one of them is definitely the answer. Okay, I think guys we'll take this last set. And then let's see how quickly we can get this one. Okay. Chalo. It says that Pappu has to cross 7 streets to reach his dance class, right? So let's assume that we have Pappu. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 streets to cross before he reaches his dance class. In fact, let me number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Right? He finds that Yana is between his house and Cameron. तो पप्पू के बाद याना के राइट में कैमरन है, कहाँ पे है नहीं पता. आयशा इज थर्ड फ्रॉम हिज क्लास, राइट, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो फर्स्ट सेकेंड थर्ड, आयशा इज थर्ड फ्रॉम हिज क्लास. Malika is next to Pretty. So Malika is next to Pretty, could be either one of them. He has to cross Aishwarya Street last. Okay, he has to cross Aishwarya Street last. Cameron is between Yana and Malika. Okay, Cameron is between Yana and Malika. So Cameron is, अगर Yana and Cameron है तो Malika यहाँ पे है, right? चलो ये order भी मिल गया. Ria is 6th from his house. So this is Ria and it is 6th from his house. And Malika के बाजू में Pretty है. So can I say Y, C, M, P, A, that is Aisha, R and Ash is the sequence? Can I say that this will be the sequence of houses on his way to the class? Chalo. So if everybody got this, I think answering the questions should be a snap. How many streets lie between Cameron and Ria? Which one? Amanbir, which one? आयशा, रिया एंड ऐश्वर्या का तो उन्होंने परफेक्ट नंबरिंग ही दिया हुआ है, तो वो तो सेट कर दिया, राइट. ही सेज दैट याना इज बिटवीन हिज हाउस एंड कैमरन, तो याना एंड कैमरन उस ऑर्डर में आएगा. एंड कैमरन इज बिटवीन याना एंड मल्लिका, सो वाई सी एम, एंड मल्लिका के बाजू में पी है, सो वाई सी एम पी सीक्वेंस मिल गया. तो पहला 4 वाई सी एम पी कर दिया, बाकी 3 तो ऐसे ही हमको डेटा में दिया हुआ था. आई हैव एस्टेब्लिश्ड ऑल 7 ऑफ देम. Did you get that, Amanbir? Somebody asked then. No issues. Chalo. I think this everybody answered. After crossing Pretty, how many lanes will Pappu cross on his way to the dance class? That's right, 3, because it's exactly in the middle. After crossing Yana Street, how many streets will Pappu cross on his way to the home? Now this you have to be careful, right? This you need to be careful. Yana cross करके वो classes नहीं जा रहा. Yana class करके cross करके वो घर जा रहा है. Majority of you are making the mistake. You are reading the question as Yana cross करके डांस क्लास की तरफ कितने हैं. ये पूछा है याना क्रॉस करके घर की तरफ कितने हैं. याना क्रॉस करके घर इमीडिएटली आ जाता है. देयर इज नो एक्स्ट्रा लेन दैट ही हैज टू क्रॉस. सो आंसर इज ई. प्लीज डोंट मेक दिस मिस्टेक. वेरी वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन, बट फिर भी मोर देन 60% ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स गॉट इट रॉन्ग. वाई? बिकॉज दे डिड नॉट टेक केयर टू रीड द क्वेश्चन प्रॉपरली. Which street is between Pretty and Ria? Straightforward. Pretty and Ria के बीच में कौन है? That's Aisha. If Pappu's house, each street and his class are equidistant and it takes 2 minutes to cross each street, then how long will he take to reach his class from the house? See, what we need to understand is, 1, this is Pappu's house, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 streets and final location. Each gap takes 2 minutes to cross. So how many gaps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are a total of 8 gaps taking 2 minutes each, which he needs to cross. So it will take a total of 16 minutes to cross this distance. Are we together on this, guys? Chalo guys, I think that's it for the day. If there are any queries or anything, you can hang around. Else, we are done for today. You may exit the session. Stay home, stay safe.